Okay, let's understand how the Unity interface works. So the interface is designed based on series of contexts. Each context is one of these regions that you can move and dock around. You can reorganize the entire interface if you want to do that. So it's totally up to you to adjust the interface to whatever you find interesting to your system. You also have here the a series of predefined layouts, for instance 2 by 3, so 2 by 3, or you can have like the default one that comes with Unity. You can organize yours, and you can also, after you reorganize your layout, you can save your layout so you can reuse this in every single project you create. So let's understand this layout. The first thing you need to understand is this main area here. It's called Scene Editor. It's here where you're going to be editing your entire game. So you are creating your game level in this area. Right now it's set for 2D, right here. So we'll be able to create 2D games in this area. The next tab here is the Game tab. The Game tab basically shows how your game is going to look like after built. So what it does is to show the content of your scene based on the position of your camera. If you expand here, you're going to see that our level right now, it's only a main camera. And because it's a 2D game, it's an orthographic camera. If it was a 3D game, you would have a perspective camera instead. Okay, so here on the left you have the hierarchy, and hierarchy is basically a scene graph that contains all the game assets you are using in this level. So you are strongly advised to organize this hierarchically. That's why the name hierarchy, so to make things more efficient. Here at the bottom you have project. Every single asset you import that could be potentially used in your game, you are going to see here at the bottom. Could be anything, could be 3D models, 2D sprites, textures, sounds, scripts, you name it. Any asset that you have it available for you to use in a game. Remember, the things that are stored in the asset not necessarily is going to be part of your final product. Everything that is in the hierarchy will be built in the final product. Here in the hierarchy, you have the assets that are being used in the level. Here in the project, you have the assets that are available for you to use to create a project. The next tab is the console. The console is going to show the error messages and warnings whenever you are building your game, and believe me, we will run into errors, unfortunately. So it's a very useful context to have available to show you what's wrong with your code. You have in 3 flavors. The first button will show you the debug log, the bug output. So whenever you are printing out a message, that message is going to show here. The second button is the warnings. So things that are not necessarily wrong with your code, but could be improved, could be had a better version of it. And the third one is the red messages. Those are the actual errors. You cannot run your game if you have any error in your code. Okay, so you're going to show here at the bottom. And finally, the inspector. The inspector is basically whenever you select a game object, this is going to contain all the properties associated with that particular object. Remember that the Unity works based on scripts. Every single script is implemented to solve a specific problem. You can have as many scripts as you want attached to the same game object. Here in this example, for instance, we have the main camera. The main camera comes with 2 scripts, one called camera and another one called audio listener. And every single component is going to have a transform node. The transform node contains the position, rotation, and the scale, and that's by default. The bare minimum you have if you create an element in game is to have the transform node. I can show you that. I can create an empty, and if I select the empty, that's what you have. You have the transform node and nothing else, but you can still click the add component button and start adding your own scripts, or the scripts you download from the web, for instance, you can attach to a specific game node. There are other contexts that we are going to use throughout the semester. If you come here to the window panel, We are going to see a whole bunch of those. You have a list for 2D, for audio, for animation, for rendering. The list goes on and on. We are going to cover those in time during the semester. It's important to note that the principles are always the same. You load a new context. The context is going to be a tab that you can dock anywhere you want in your environment and start working with it.